Okay, back in 1985, I think that was the first year, yeah, Matsudaya came out with the wind-up Lost in Space robot, and again at the time it was the least expensive and most accurate to the screen used robot. Let's see if there's a date on the bottom of this one. Yep, 1985. And has a wind-up motor which would allow it to move. They were very inexpensive at the time. You could find them in the $5 to $7 range. Then they continued to reissue them. I believe that this version, same robot, just came out in different years with a different box. I think, I'm looking on here, somewhere on here, I think I saw 90 something. Sorry. Can't quite remember where I saw it. Let's take a peek inside. See if there's something different on the bottom of the robot. Now the bottom of the robot still says the same thing. Same wind up. Pretty sure somewhere on this box, even though my little eyeballs aren't seeing it right now, it said 90 something. Then there was this version that came out. And this version, this one does have a date on it. If I can get my eyeballs where I can read it. What's that say? 1998? Yeah. So that's a newer version. Let's use the camera and the screen and maybe I can zoom in enough to where I can tell. Print is real small. Bizarre. I know I saw a date on here earlier. No matter. It came out after the fact, but back in 1985 I took one and electrified it in a couple of different ways. Inside this control box there are circuits which can, I'm going to move these boxes out of the way, which if I flip this switch on, now there's an active microphone and an LED that lights up in the mouth, or maybe it's a light bulb. No, it's probably an LED. But if I speak into this, then that should flash and the robot should twitch. Hello, 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 test, test, test. And in case that doesn't show up, hello, 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 test, test. So you could talk into it and move it that way, or I can switch that off, and then I have these two manual buttons. So I can make it go forward, and when it goes forward that way, I have a light that comes on up in the head, and the wheels on the bottom. There's also a sound, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. There's a piezo whistle in there. It makes a very high-pitched sound as it moves. And then, of course, you can reverse it to some extent. So you have your forward, reverse. Reverse seems to be a little bit sticky on the go. There we go. Hasn't been played with in a long time. I mean, 1985, 95, 2005. So it's getting pretty close to 30 years old. But back then there weren't the small motors and things that we have these days. I think I ended up having to use the motor and gearbox out of an N-gauge train in order to get small enough to fit in there. So the motor drives down here, then the piezo parts there, then the two LEDs, and it all comes out of this modified box that I got from some other toy. I think it was a Pocket Bot or something, because I needed to be able to hold 4 pen light batteries, plus the audio circuits, the microphone. It sends it all through just 2 wires, even the microphone controlled part. Hello, hello, hello. And you turn that part off, then you can use the manual buttons. So, there you have it. a DIY version, the wind-up version from 1985, in the 90s sometime, late 90s on that box version.